Okay.
There is the question about why continuing to employ a certain mode of politics that does not work. When this violence that we see happens, does it mean that somebody then has gone further in the race politically? When people die, like you said, there will be funerals in Homa Bay. There will be people who will be in hospital. There will be people who have to look for money for treatment that they had not planned for. They don't have a source to be able to get. Does it score points? Does it really make people afraid? Because what it seems to do to me is that it makes anybody who wants to make sure such things don't happen, that they become unabowed in their resolve to see change. So it seems counterintuitive to employ violence to suppress the voice of anybody.
Unfortunately, it's happening with the blessings of the government. Alberto Joang happened. It was downplayed. There was no compensation as such from the government. I will explain that it is usually like a threat.
Okay.
So you feel so threatened, you are silenced.
Okay.
And you live to fight another day.
So, for example, if the Linda Mwananchi team, for example, want to go to do another rally in another town where perhaps the leaders of that town are hostile in terms of whether they're going to welcome you or not, based on what happened in Homa Bay, will the Linda Mwananchi team say, you know what, we are scared that this might happen again, and so we will not go?
That's what was happening that particular day. And the Linda Mwananchi would have been scared and never got there. But the Linda Mwananchi team, they know that place very well. So they used other routes and other means to get to the venue. As you saw, the road was redo to stones, meaning nobody was going to move. And when goons throw stones on the road, they leave police to remove them. Now, the police who go and try to control the situation, they end up with a burned down government vehicle and a police officer dead. I mean, that is excessive. And what happens after a police officer dies in this sort of situation? Compensation to the families is usually next to impossible. So it has so many twists and turns, the families give up and just sit there and wait, unless you have somebody who is so connected and helps you. So I want to say that in the Linda Mwananchi situation, they decided not to be cowed and used wits. But what this is, they're setting it up, is so dangerous. Are you telling Kaluma now that you will never go to Bungoma? Now look at it even worse. There is a day where Wetangula went to attend the funeral of a member of parliament's mom in Kisumu. And then he's prevented by goons from leaving. And it is such a chase up and down till he took off from a safer place. And while he was getting out, there were some injuries and I think one death of these fellows who hung on your vehicle and they refused to come out till you give them money. And even when you give them money, they refuse to come out. You drive at 100 kilometers per hour, they refuse to give up. So you have to stop and yield to all the demands. And I think now, can you imagine if the speaker, Wetangula, was killed in that place? Then are you telling me Oburu will go to... I'm looking at the worst case scenario. Are you telling me now Oburu will attend that funeral and get out alive? So we must now know that this is terrible and it must stop. And I know Oburu doesn't like it. He doesn't like violence, but he's unable to control his members of his party. It is a high time now people said, look at that worst case scenario. And the violence can get into anything. It can get into anybody. It can get into the president. If it can get, to any leader. And can cause death to anybody. It is not just those innocent people. So I think it's a high time now the president and his government meant it and stopped it. What if he goes into a crowd which is violent, he himself, and his security are overpowered? What will he do? Because security can be overpowered.
It can.
There's nothing you can do to 10,000 people. Or no, whatever ammunition you have, there's nothing you can do to 10,000 people. So I think really everybody needs to sit back and stop the violence. And it is spreading everywhere in the country. Yeah. It is not just in Nyanza. I've seen that trend in Makueni. The UDA brigade is hedging towards using violence now to convince people in Makueni to support Ruto. And it doesn't go like that. You know, you cannot support him by violence, by force.
Yeah.
Politics should be like marketing. You give your best to market a product, and you let the people decide whether they will buy or not buy. But when you have to force somebody to buy a product they don't like, then I think it is horrible. And to finish this, to stop this, leaders who are participated in crime should be prosecuted.